Imagine this, you're sitting across from him, and he can't stop looking at you, not because of your looks, but because of the way you make him feel. He's not just attracted to you, he's terrified of losing you. Sounds intriguing, right? If you're curious about how to make him feel that way, stick with me. But first, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe, because today we're unlocking secrets that will shift your relationship dynamic in ways you've never imagined. We've all been there. Those moments where relationships feel like a never-ending chase. Like you're the one constantly giving, constantly hoping for more, while he sits back, passive and distant. But here's the truth, when you're always the one chasing, you're missing the most important ingredient for lasting attraction: influence. Napoleon Hill, the master of understanding desire, teaches us that the key to getting what you want, whether it's success or love, is not just about what you do, it's about how you make others feel. And when you make him feel like he needs you, that's when he starts to fear losing you. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but my last relationship fell apart and things just don't seem to be working out. Don't worry, that's not the end. It's just a new beginning. The universe has a way of taking away things that aren't meant for you, so it can bring in what's meant to stay. Every relationship teaches us something, and every lesson learned brings us closer to the right one. So are you ready to step into your power? To learn how to make him worry about losing you in the best possible way? Here's a fun little affirmation to get you started. He can't resist me. Write it down in the comments below, because the universe is watching and I want you to show it. Show him and show yourself. Stay tuned for the 9 secret ways that will make him crave you more than ever before. Number 1, the power of emotional influence. You're the prize. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been drawn to someone not because they were perfect, but because they just radiated something special? They didn't have to try hard, didn't need to constantly seek attention, and certainly didn't feel desperate. Yet people wanted to be around them. That something special is their energy, and it's the most magnetic thing you can cultivate in your own life. This is the core idea behind Napoleon Hill's powerful philosophy. Desire shapes reality. And if you've ever heard of the Stoic principle, control what you can, let go of the rest, you'll see how well it pairs with Hill's wisdom in relationships. What you can control is how you carry yourself and the energy you project. Everything else, it's beyond your control. So don't waste your time chasing after what isn't yours to chase. When Hill talks about desire, he's not just referring to what you want from others, but to the energy you create around you. When you position yourself as the prize, men will naturally want to win your affection. Not because you're playing games, but because you've tapped into the universal law of attraction. People are drawn to those who value themselves. Imagine for a second that you're a rare diamond. What makes diamonds so desirable? It's not because they chase after anyone or try to prove their worth. They simply are what they are. They don't have to be polished all the time. They don't need a spotlight. They just are. And because of that, they are sought after. You are that diamond. Think about your own life. Have you ever noticed how some women seem to effortlessly attract attention from men? They aren't doing anything dramatic or chasing validation. They simply radiate confidence and know their worth. Take my friend Sarah, for example. She wasn't what anyone would call perfect. She wasn't trying to play by anyone's rules, yet men were constantly drawn to her. Why? Because Sarah wasn't out there trying to win anyone's approval. She held herself in high regard, walked through life with a kind of ease and self-respect that was magnetic. It's not about being flawless. It's about being confident in who you are. When Sarah walked into a room, it wasn't because she was loud or trying to stand out, but because she carried herself like someone who knew they were important. And that made everyone else believe it too. Men saw her as a woman who had standards, someone they had to work to be with, and that's what made her so intriguing. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I don't feel like a prize right now? What if I'm still figuring things out? First of all, let me tell you this. You are already a prize. Your self-worth doesn't need to be built on perfection. It doesn't need to be based on a man's approval, his attention, or anything external. It comes from within. The more you start seeing yourself as someone who deserves respect, admiration, and love, the more others will reflect that back to you. That's the energy you want to radiate. Confidence in yourself, knowing your value, and acting like you're not here to chase anyone's approval. Now, this doesn't mean you should be standoffish or aloof. It simply means that you shouldn't feel like you need to chase anyone or prove yourself. Instead, let him come to you. When you position yourself as the prize, he has to work to win you over. This doesn't mean playing hard to get or pretending to be uninterested. It's about letting your energy speak for itself. You might wonder, but how do I do that in practical terms? Start by focusing on yourself, your hobbies, your passions, your goals. When you are busy living a fulfilling life, your presence becomes a reward. You don't need to drop everything and be available at his every whim. When he sees that your world is full, that's when he'll want to be part of it. Because let's face it, no one wants to chase after someone who seems desperate or overly available. They want what they can't have, and they're drawn to people who exude self-assurance and independence. The only way to deal with this life meaningfully is to find your passion and live it fully. That's a quote from Carl Jung that perfectly aligns with this principle. When you focus on building your own happiness and living fully in your own skin, you become more attractive to everyone around you, including him. The more you live for yourself, the more others will be drawn to you, not because of what you're doing, but because of who you are becoming. So here's your fun little task for the day. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say this out loud. I am the prize. Say it like you mean it. Believe it. Feel it. Because that's what will start to shine through in your energy. Now, I want you to type, I am the prize in the comments below to affirm it to the universe and to yourself. And as we move on to the next secret way to make him worry about losing you, remember this, you are the diamond, and the right person will always recognize your value. Stay tuned, because what comes next will help you turn that self-assurance into irresistible emotional influence. Number 2, create desire through space, the art of mystery. Let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in attraction, mystery. Imagine you're reading a book, and every chapter reveals something unexpected, something exciting. The plot twists keep you hooked, and you can't wait to turn the page. But what if the book told you the ending on page 1? Would you keep reading? Probably not. Relationships work in a very similar way. If you reveal everything about yourself right away, what's left for him to discover? What's left for him to want? Napoleon Hill teaches us that desire is one of the most powerful human emotions. And desire doesn't just come from being physically close or available, it thrives in the unknown. The more a man has to wonder about you, the more his curiosity will grow, and the more he'll be drawn to you. When you hold back some parts of yourself, you keep him intrigued and eager to learn more. Think of yourself like the most captivating book he's ever read. Relationships, just like stories, are meant to unfold chapter by chapter. If you give away all the juicy details too quickly, there's nothing left to build excitement. The best parts of any story are the moments when you don't know what will happen next. And when it comes to attraction, that's where the magic happens. Take my friend Jane, for example. She had a way of keeping things light and fun, especially on her first few dates. She didn't share every personal detail about her life or dive into deep emotional conversations too soon. Instead, she kept things playful, let her personality shine, and gave just enough to keep him intrigued. He was hooked by her mystery and wanted to know more. And guess what? As time passed, her emotional depth came through slowly, like the layers of an onion being peeled back. That built anticipation, and it kept him coming back for more. It's natural to want to share everything about yourself when you meet someone new, especially when you feel a connection. But here's the thing, the less you reveal all at once, the more he'll crave learning about you. Think about it like this. When you're with him, don't treat it like an interrogation. Keep things lighthearted, fun, and interesting. Don't bombard him with the details of your life on the first date. You don't need to share all your emotional baggage or dive deep into your childhood stories. Save that for later. He wants to uncover you, not have you hand him the entire story on a silver platter. The trick is to let him feel like he's getting to know you in stages. Share bits and pieces about yourself, interesting things about your passions, your values, and your quirks. But don't give away everything in the beginning. That's just on that sense of mystery creates a kind of pull. He'll wonder what you're about, what's coming next, and how much more there is to you. This anticipation is powerful and makes him want to be a part of your journey. Here's a practical tip. Start by keeping some parts of yourself for yourself. Don't reveal everything about your past, your dreams, or your fears all at once. Instead, let each new conversation be an opportunity for him to get to know another layer of you. Maybe on one date, you share a funny childhood memory. On another, you talk about a book that changed your life. Slowly build the story. Let him be curious. Let him wonder what's next. Remember, desire is fueled by anticipation. When you leave things open-ended, when you don't give it all away too soon, you're creating a feeling that he can't shake. It's the allure of the unknown that makes him want to keep coming back for more. Now, here's your fun task. When you get the chance, drop a little mystery into your day. Whether it's with him or just in your everyday interactions, keep a bit of your story to yourself and see how much more intriguing you become. And as always, to help seal your transformation, let's say this affirmation together. I am a mystery worth uncovering. Write it in the comments below and make it your mantra as we move on to the next secret way to keep him invested and wanting more. Stay tuned, because what's coming next is all about making him feel like he's the one who's lucky to have you. Number 3, show him he's needed, the hero's role. You know that feeling when someone asks you for help, and you know that your involvement means something to them? It's a feeling of purpose. That's the kind of power you can unlock in a relationship, making him feel needed. Napoleon Hill's wisdom about desire is key here. People, and particularly men, want to feel like they're contributing to something meaningful. And when you make him feel like a valuable part of your life, it creates a deep, emotional connection. Men are natural protectors and providers. Hill talks about the power of desire, and when a man feels needed, it triggers a deep desire to care for and support the woman he's with. But here's the thing. He won't be able to do that if you constantly push him away, handling everything on your own. Men are like knights in shining armor. They want to be the hero. When you give him the chance to step into that role, he'll start to see himself as an essential part of your life. And that connection will strengthen. Think of it this way. When you give him the opportunity to be your hero, you give him a reason to fight for you. It's not about weakness, it's about trust. You trust him to be there for you, and that trust builds a bond that can't easily be broken. Imagine how it feels to help someone you care about, and how that builds a sense of attachment. That's the effect you want to create. Take my friend Emma, for example. She was a strong, independent woman, but she knew how to ask for help when she needed it. One time she needed help fixing something around the house. Nothing big, just a simple task that she knew she couldn't do on her own. She asked her boyfriend if he could help. He didn't hesitate and came over to take care of it. And here's the kicker. After that, he started doing more for her without being asked. Why? Because he felt needed. He knew that he was making a difference in her life, and that feeling grew stronger with each small task she let him help with. This isn't just about physical tasks, it's about emotional support too. When you show him that you value his input or appreciate his emotional presence, you're creating a deeper bond. You're allowing him to be the person who makes things better for you, and that will make him want to keep doing it. Don't let pride stop you from asking for help, whether it's for advice, emotional support, or even something practical. Here's a practical tip. Don't try to do everything by yourself. Allow him to be part of the process. If you're stressed about something at work, ask him how he'd handle it, or simply talk to him about it. If there's a project around the house, ask for his help. Not only will this show him that you value his skills, but it also lets him know that his presence in your life means something important. The more you involve him in your world, the more he'll want to be a part of it. And let me add, this doesn't mean you should make him feel like your emotional crutch or that you're incapable. It's about showing him that his role in your life matters. When you make him feel like he's a hero, he'll start to see himself as an irreplaceable part of your life. And that's when he'll want to keep fighting to keep you. Here's your fun affirmation. I make him feel needed. Say it out loud and write it in the comments below. When you step into your power, knowing that you're worthy of having someone who wants to be your hero, it'll be impossible for him to resist you. Ready for what comes next? It's all about how to build a deeper emotional connection, so stay tuned. Number 4, be emotionally engaged. The power of connection. When it comes to building a strong connection with someone, it's not just about what you say, but how you make them feel. Napoleon Hill talks a lot about energy and ideas, about how mutual exchange is the key to creating lasting desire. This idea is incredibly important in relationships. The more emotionally present you are, the deeper the connection becomes. Men, just like everyone else, are drawn to women who engage with them on an emotional level, who listen to them, and who make them feel heard and understood. It's simple. If you make him feel valued, he'll become more invested in you. Think of yourself as a radio station. You're constantly broadcasting your energy and emotions to the people around you, and just like a radio, the more positive, engaging vibes you send out, the more someone will tune in. If you're only talking about yourself, or if your energy is closed off or indifferent, it's like broadcasting static. He won't feel compelled to listen. But when you engage him emotionally, it's like tuning into a clear, perfectly aligned signal. You're not only transmitting your thoughts and emotions, but creating a space for him to do the same. Let me share a real-life example. My friend Rachel is one of the most emotionally present people I know. One time, her boyfriend came home after a particularly rough day at work. Most people would have rushed to talk about their own day or try to offer solutions to his stress, but Rachel did something different. She simply asked him how his day went and truly listened to what he had to say. She didn't interrupt, didn't offer her opinions, and didn't try to fix everything. Instead, she just listened. That simple act of being emotionally engaged made him feel understood, like he wasn't carrying that stress alone. Over time, his appreciation for her listening skills grew, and they became even closer. That emotional connection built on being present and attentive made him feel more bonded to her and less likely to pull away. The key here is genuine interest. Don't just go through the motions. Actively engage with his thoughts and feelings. Ask him how his day went. Ask about his dreams, his struggles, his passions. Don't turn the conversation back to you right away. This isn't about using emotional engagement as a tool for manipulation. It's about creating real connection. When you show interest in his life, in his thoughts, and in his emotions, it makes him feel valued. And when a man feels heard and understood, he'll be more emotionally attached to you. Here's a practical tip. Make an effort to listen. Really listen. Ask open-ended questions that invite him to share more than just surface-level details. You might ask, "What was the best part of your day today?" Or, "What's something you've been thinking about a lot lately?" These types of questions create space for deeper conversation and emotional bonding. The more you give him room to express himself, the more he'll feel comfortable sharing with you. Emotional engagement isn't just about listening, though. It's also about showing empathy and understanding. When he's stressed or upset, validate his feelings instead of dismissing them. Acknowledge that what he's going through is important. This can be as simple as saying, "I can imagine how tough that must have been for you." It's these small acts of emotional validation that build trust and create a deeper connection. Now let's make it official. Time for your affirmation. Look in the mirror and say, "I create deep emotional connections." You've got this. Write it down in the comments below. As we move into the next section, remember that emotional engagement is a game changer. When you can truly connect with him on an emotional level, you're not just building a relationship, you're making him realize he needs you in his life. Stick with me, because we're about to dive into how to let him lead in the relationship, and that's where the real magic happens. Number 5, let him lead, the dance of power. Relationships aren't about control, they're about collaboration. Napoleon Hill spoke a lot about the importance of mutual respect and partnership in building success, and the same principle applies to love. In a healthy relationship, both partners need to feel valued and capable of contributing in their own ways. So let him lead in some aspects of the relationship. It not only gives him a sense of control, but also boosts his feelings of importance and responsibility. Think of your relationship as a dance. In the beginning, you might take the lead. showing him how you want to be treated or guiding the direction. But as the relationship grows, it's essential to let him lead in certain areas. Sometimes he'll take the lead in decisions, planning, or problem solving, and that's perfectly okay. When you both take turns guiding, you create a rhythm that feels natural, fulfilling, and balanced. It becomes a dance, one where both partners feel needed and respected. Take Sarah and Mark, for example. On their anniversary, Sarah decided to let Mark plan their entire date night. He took it upon himself to choose the restaurant, the activities, and even the little surprise he'd planned. Mark felt a sense of pride and accomplishment that he had made the night special for her. Sarah let him take charge, and he appreciated her trust and respect. As a result, the bond between them deepened, and Mark didn't just enjoy the night. He was more emotionally invested in the relationship and didn't want to lose what they had. Here's a simple tip. Let him take the lead in areas where he feels confident, whether it's planning the next date, making decisions, or even taking charge of a household project. Allow him to step up. This will build his emotional investment and create a sense of accomplishment. Remember, collaboration is key. For today's affirmation, I trust him to lead. Say it out loud and write it in the comments below. Trust me, letting him lead will strengthen your bond and make him value your relationship even more. Ready for the next secret to make him feel truly connected to you? Let's dive in. Number 6, challenge him but don't push too hard. The sweet spot of tension. Napoleon Hill understood that desire isn't just about giving someone what they want. It's about creating a challenge. Men, like anyone else, are naturally drawn to a little bit of competition or challenge. But here's the thing, too much of a challenge can push him away, and too little can make him lose interest. The key is finding that sweet spot where you challenge him enough to keep him interested without making him feel like he's constantly in a battle. Think of it like a game of tug of war. If you let go too easily, the game is over, and there's no tension left to keep him invested. But if you pull too hard, he'll feel trapped and let go. The trick is to find that perfect balance, the tension that keeps him engaged and makes him want to fight for you. This dynamic fuels desire and keeps him on his toes, wondering if he's doing enough to keep you. Take Jennifer and Paul as an example. Jennifer wasn't afraid to challenge Paul on small things that bothered her, but she always did it in a light, playful way. If he was being lazy or not putting in effort, she would call him out, but without being confrontational. This playful challenge made him want to prove that he was worthy of her respect and affection. Instead of feeling criticized, he felt motivated to do better, and that created a deeper emotional connection. Here's your practical tip. Don't always agree with him, and don't make things too easy. Hold your standards high and challenge him to meet them. This not only helps him become a better man, but it also builds the kind of tension that makes him fear losing you. Your affirmation for today? I challenge him to rise. Write it in the comments and say it with confidence. This balance of challenge and support will keep him striving to be his best self for you. And there you have it. Now you know how to create a deep emotional connection that keeps him invested and afraid of losing you. By becoming the prize, creating mystery, making him feel needed, and balancing the challenge. You'll be well on your way to building a relationship that's strong, fulfilling, and long-lasting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with someone who might need this advice. And as always, leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. See you next time with more relationship tips that truly work.